Hi guys, I'm live on YouTube. Okay, this is crazy. I don't know if I've ever gone live on YouTube, but I have been around YouTube for a very long time. So let me just see if I can see myself. I have no idea if I can see myself. And that's okay. All right. So here I am live. I have no idea. I'm live. That's all I know. I'm going to see in the studio here if I can see. Um, yeah, there I am. Awesome. It says it's an excellent connection. And I'm going to get this shareable link and share it inside my Facebook group. If you guys are not inside my Facebook group is called Facebook Group Success for Coaches. And uh, I'm not exclusively teaching to coaches. So if you're not a coach, don't worry. Come join us. Let's see. I'm going to just share this in the group. All right. So, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new to this channel, my name is Anna Gray. I've been around these parts since 2009. When I started my business, I was working full-time as a registered nurse, and I'm going to take these glasses off, and I became a health and fitness coach. And I really, really, really spent a lot of time over here on YouTube with my health and fitness business. And I built this amazing audience and this amazing community around that particular business. About 4 years ago, I decided to teach Facebook groups. And because that's really how I built my business, besides for obviously YouTube in building my list and Pinterest in building my list, my community was really built around Facebook groups. And so I decided about 5 years ago to pivot my business and really focus on Facebook groups and community building and relationship building, and really not the fly by night, and really about quality over quantity. So I've been teaching Facebook groups for the last 4 or 5 years. But what I really wanted to do was I really wanted to start to spend more time over here on YouTube, because it really is how I started. And I kind of miss being over here. And so with this live feature, it allows me to really just be myself. So we're talking about, our Facebook group's dead in 2021. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you and say that it's really easy to say that they are. I'm like the biggest advocate, and obviously have been the biggest advocate about around Facebook groups. I have, my signature course is called Mastering the Art of Groups. It's a strategy-based course. From the ground up, if you were to start a Facebook group, you would need to follow this strategy in order to build this community and engagement and relationships and continue to grow on a regular basis and continue to be engaging all the time. That still holds true, but I'm going to tell you that if you don't have other layers to your Facebook group, then yes, Facebook groups are going to appear to be dead. And I'm witnessing this myself. The algorithm, as you know, always is changing. In the last few weeks, few months, it's kind of, we are gearing towards Facebook groups. We're gearing towards community building. We've seen commercials around Facebook groups, and that really holds true for communities that are not necessarily business building communities. So Facebook really promotes the communities that are just like this free-for-all community. If you ride motorcycles, come join my group. If you wear clown wigs, come join my group. And that's where a lot of groups thrive. But if you are running your community around your business, you have to have other layers. And this is a perfect example. By me coming live on YouTube doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to come live with me on YouTube, but it's going to be an opportunity for me to share with you who I am and share with my audience that I have something to share. So By pulling the teaching out of your Facebook group, you're more inclined to be more like the we all ride motorcycles, we all wear clown wigs kind of group. And that's really what Facebook groups were built around. So I'm saying that because I want you to understand that it doesn't really matter what you're teaching inside your group. It matters to what your community is like and what your audience in that group is like and how you've built that community to really just show up for you. A perfect example of that also for me is that if I were to pivot inside my group and stop teaching Facebook groups, yes, my community has come into that group because they wanted to learn more about Facebook groups and they wanted to learn what they were doing wrong or what they needed to know. But really what that group is about community and it's about relationship building. And the teaching really comes outside of that group. The teaching can come here on YouTube. The teaching can come in the form of the course or my programs. So I want you to think and know that your community is still a genuine place to grow your audience and to really build this connection, no matter what business you're doing. And again, I give this example because there is some pivoting in my own business currently where I'm really sharing from my heart and sharing what I'm called to share. And it's really more than just Facebook groups. So how can I do that inside of a Facebook group? Well, I can come outside the Facebook group like this in YouTube and share something tangible about Facebook groups. And, if you connect with me or you like how I share my message, then you're going to be a part of my community. I could change the name of the community in a heartbeat and I would still have this audience who is showing up for what I have to say. And that's the same for you. So back to, are Facebook groups dead? It depends on how you use them. If you're using them to teach, if you're using them to just, throw out posts like blog posts, then you're not going to get engagement. That's not what Facebook is really built for. You're going to have to add layers. You can share blog posts like posts in there, but you're going to have to train your audience on how to find those things. So you're going to have those other layers like a YouTube channel, right? Or your email list, most importantly. If you have your email list, then that is the best way to point people into the post and the content that you really want them to see. And I'm telling you that it is the easiest thing in the world to have a conversation with your audience in an email that says, hey, I just went live sharing from my heart inside my group. Here's the link to that post. And if you ever need to know how to grab the link to your post inside your Facebook group, just find me and message me. You can find me on Instagram, Anna_B_Gray with an AY, or just come in and join my group. I send you a little quick message when you do join the group and then ask me that question. I have no problem answering that question and helping you find how to find the link to your post, because I want you to be able to point your audience to that great content and start that conversation, because your community really is about conversation. And that's when Facebook starts to reward you for that. But your conversation is not necessarily going to see, you're not going to get the eyes of your entire group just by posting a post. You're competing with this huge feed of posts. And in the old days, the algorithm was a little different. It was a little simpler. Now, if you start watching videos today, then in an hour from now, Facebook is going to start to show you more and more videos. If you start spending more time in one particular group, Facebook is going to start to show you more and more posts of those groups. So think about all of your audience and everyone inside of your group. They're not in your group today, which means they're not necessarily going to see your post today. If they spend a lot of time in your group, yes, of course they're going to. But chances are they don't. So how are you going to get them to get in there to have that conversation? There are multiple ways to do that. And again, I teach all that in my Facebook group course. But the point of this video is really to expand and to understand that it doesn't necessarily matter what you're teaching when it comes to your Facebook group, as long as you're having that conversation. So Facebook groups are dead in the sense that If you're just using your Facebook group, you're going to be swimming upstream. And I love to share, whenever I say swimming upstream, I have to tell you a story. I picture there was a trip that my family and I took, and it was to Seattle, and we went and saw, I think they're called locks, I don't know, in the water, and it was the salmon lock, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. And it was, and they explained and shared how salmon would swim upstream and downstream and all those things. So whenever I say swim upstream, I always picture myself learning the migrating technique for salmon. And the bonus story on that one is that there's this hill, this grass hill that was right next to the salmon lock. And my youngest daughter climbed up that hill, and my oldest daughter was standing down on the asphalt, and they were about 9 or 7 or around that age. My youngest daughter starts running down the hill, and you could see she's losing momentum. I mean, she's losing her footing. And my oldest daughter caught her from falling on the asphalt. And so whenever I say the word swim upstream, that's exactly what I picture. So there you go. Now you know. So you're swimming upstream when you're relying on that algorithm to just kind of hope and pray that your audience sees it. You really, really, really have to train your audience to find your content. Okay. But again, it doesn't matter if your content has something to do with nothing that you're teaching. Like, for example, I'm talking about Facebook groups inside my group, but today I shared from the heart of what I meant to share after all these years of experience in life and business. I've been in business for 11 years. I've been a nurse for 20 something years. I'm just going through a divorce. I went through international adoption, like all of these things. You can see how much personal development I've read in the last 11 years. Like all of these things is more than just Facebook groups. So where can I share that? I can share that with the audience who is already surrounding me inside my group. But again, I can't rely on the group itself to just promote and hope that the engagement is there. I have great engagement from the people that are always there, that show up all the time, no matter what I share. But it is really the other half, the audience that you have to start thinking about. And how do I train that audience to see my post? And it is doing something like, for me, I'm going live on YouTube here, which I have never been live on YouTube. I've had a YouTube channel since 2009. You can feel free to scroll through all my YouTube channels. I have so many YouTube channels. I mean, so many YouTube videos. But I decided to go live because I'm home with a broken ankle. And the last time I was home with a broken ankle was 8 years ago on the other ankle. And I took advantage of all the time that I had. And I just skyrocketed my business, my first business at the time. And so I'm spending that time home now, going live here and just sharing from my heart. But again, we're talking about Facebook groups today, but just know that when you connect your audience inside your group, it's not just about what you're teaching. It's if you're teaching, Pinterest, it's going to be more than just Pinterest. But a lot of you are probably teaching more than just one topic. So, hi, Miss Amber Gill. Nice to see you on here. So that's it. So, and I appreciate Amber hopping on here as well, because Amber's a perfect example of just kind of pivoting, outside of Facebook. If she really, really, really wants an audience and has an audience and has has this connection with her audience, and she's chosen to build it outside of Facebook group and outside of a Facebook group, which is amazing. As long as you've got a place to build a community, you need another place to kind of remind them that the information is there. They're not going to see it on their own. And unfortunately, I hate to break it to you, is that they aren't going to see it on their own. So yes, you have to have an email list. You have to point them to your posts. Like maybe you did have a great conversation in your group. Make sure your audience knows that. Point them there. I would, like I said today, in this video, I'm pointing you to a post that I created inside my group called Facebook Group Success, where I shared my heart and I shared who I am and who I am here for. And if you're interested in seeing that, then find it in there. I'm pointing you in there. I'm giving you instruction because you're watching this video. I'm going to also share it in my email, because we cannot rely on Facebook alone. That's pretty much what it comes down to. And I just wanted to share that with you. And I wanted to share just from the heart. And I really love to go live. And I know that by going live on YouTube currently, I am going to get more out of that than going live inside my Facebook group, because guess what? It's not working right now. It's just the connection is not there when it comes to Facebook group live, because like I said earlier, you're swimming upstream. Here's an opportunity for you to have this searchable engine. Again, if you've looked at my old YouTube videos, I have so many videos on there that have been searchable over all of these years. And, here it is. I'm coming back to it because I'm just utilizing it in a different way, in a way to point people into my community. So I hope that you do the same, and I hope that you found this incredibly valuable. And just know that I am going to be going live as many times as I possibly can here on YouTube between the time that I am sitting here with a broken ankle and the time I go back to my day job of working on my feet as a nurse. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye guys.